Charts are a recent addition to Huddle Sportscode that help you visualize data. So on the right hand side here, I have some stacked bar charts between this game Salzburg and Wolfsberger that I got from Y-Scout. I'm going to show you how to make one of these stacked bar charts. So I'm going to drag down the chart button. I'm going to double click it and change the chart type to stacked bar. I'm then going to change the name to corners, because that is what we're going to currently plot in this particular stacked bar chart. I'm going to skip this current tab of the inspector until we finish our scripting. So I'm going to go to the inspector here, and I'm going to start doing our script. Now, what's really nice with the scripting is it's only going to necessitate 4 lines of script. So I'm going to create var1, and I'm going to go instances where row equals, and then using our Y-Scout tagging, I see that our row name for corners is the team name plus dash plus corners. So same thing with typical Sportscode scripting, is that we have to make sure that we have all our grammar aligned, our caps aligned, and all our spaces aligned with exactly what's in the timeline. So that's the first one. We're going to copy and paste the script down to var2, and we're going to change this name to the opposition, which is Salzburg. Here we go. So we've got our 2 row names identified. Now you'll notice we didn't count anything or identify the length of these instances. We're just identifying the instances themselves. Then comes our first chart script. So chart. Now there's 4 parts to a chart script. The first part is identifying the count which we want to show. So I'm going to go count, and then because Salzburg is on the left hand side, I'm going to put that one first. Count var2. So it's going to be showing the count of that row, Salzburg corners, in our chart. I'm then going to put comma, and the second part of the chart script is what we want to call it. So let's go Salzburg, just in capital letters, the name of the team. Now the third part of it is the color that we want this chart to be, or at least what part that is representing Salzburg. So let's go color, and then we're going to put red. So 100, 0, 0. And then the last part is what we want the video to be when we click this part of the chart. So I'm just going to put var2, because we've already identified the row that these are coming from, so var2. And that's the entire script now for that particular team, Salzburg corners. We've got the count, the name, the color, and then the video that we're showing. Now if we want to get a random color from Sportscode, we can just get rid of that particular part of the script. If we don't want a name for our chart here, for this particular aspect of it, we can just get rid of that part of the script. So you don't need all 4 parts, but these are the 4 parts that constitute a chart script. I'm going to create a new one, and we just have to change the 2 to a 1, and then add the team Wolfsberger here. So that's all the scripting that we need. So now when we press execute, we'll see here that we've got our 2 parts of the script. Now I need to change this to green. So let's just go 60 here, and that's going to be green. So now I can make sure that this looks like the other ones in my output window. So I'm going to make sure that the size here is what? 552 and 35. So 452 and 35. Did I get that wrong? That's because I got these names. So now I can come to the second tab. I can get rid of the names of the axis. I can get rid of the names of our data points. So now it's the exact same size. And if I weren't going to have these numbers on the right hand side showing the number of corners, I could also delete the names of the values, but we'll keep the values and we'll just have the value only. And from there I can also change the color, the font, the size, things like that. So let's make the color white, make it a bit bigger. There we go, so 11 and 4. Now what's really nice about this scripting is that we don't necessarily have to have this scripting for a stacked bar chart. If I want to turn this particular chart into a pie graph, I just have to go back to our first tab and change this to a pie graph. And now it's going to be a pie graph. Or I could make it a stacked column, make it that way, or it could just be a bar chart or a column chart. It's really up to us what we want it to look like. The scripting is going to remain the exact same. So that's how you script for a bar chart or any other sort of chart in Huddle Sportscode in World Football.